And welcome back. We're just cracking them out today, folks. By cracking them, I mean getting one more video. I've actually done 3 other videos right now. What ifs in the Digimon video for Tuesday, and I've still got another what if to do for Wednesday. So I'm just cramming these things out right now. But we got the box office today on the 15th of September, 2024. Not surprisingly, at number 1 was Beetlejuice. Again, with only a 53.3% drop. I assumed it would be in the low 50s. It's a good number. It's a good number to drop by. You want that for your drop-offs. Speak No Evil debuts 11.5 million. Deadpool Wolverine still in the top 5, made our 5.2 million, dropping like 25.8%. Now, though, it is going to start losing some theaters. Definitely, bit by bit. And outside, what's the term I'm looking for? A dark horse candidate. Am I Racist? 4.7 million. And The Killer's Game made an unfortunate 2.6 million. I actually didn't check what the budget for The Killer's Game was. Let's find that out, shall we? Killer's Game. Killer's Game. What was the budget on this? I can't imagine it was huge. Okay, it's not giving me the budget there, but let's see the budget. Let's see, Blumhouse horror production, 15 million, with 10 million to start a Killer's Game, but I want the budget for the Killer's Game. They're not giving me the budget. That's not good. That's never a good sign when you can't even find it just Googling. But yeah, Killer's Game debuts at 2.6. Let's talk about the big headers first. Let's talk about the ones that, are like, yeah! That'll get on my soapbox later. Hold. Beetlejuice number 51 million, dropping only 53%, which does make sense. There was really no competition this week for this film at all. Like, you had Speak No Evil and A Killer's Game. Neither were really going to do much towards hurting the Beetlejuice's box office. And look, on a $100 million budget, and I believe it's between 50 and 100 that I looked at the marketing budget, averaged out to 75. The film had to do about 270 to break even, a little under. So it's basically broken even at this point. It is now in the profit range. Even if I highball to 100, it will be profitable next week. It's going to be profitable probably by the end of either tomorrow or Tuesday. And then it's just printing money at that point. So what do we contribute to the success? Well, frankly, first off, it's a very entertaining movie. The majority of people like it. That's the most important thing. But the second biggest thing is what I just said. It had no straight competition this week. None. So it's going to have a good run for domestically. Now, that being said, we do have Transformers 1 coming out this coming week. I got it right here. 1 coming out. And there's also that new Halle Berry film, which I do want to see. Never Let Go. I meant to see Speak No Evil, but once we got to Friday, I'm just like, I'm low on funds this week. I get paid my payday's this week. So I'm like, you know what? Why don't we just like leave it be? It's not that big a deal. It really isn't that big a deal. And look, I heard the film was good for what it was. It got good reviews. James McAvoy's awesome in it. So it's what I thought it was going to be. Luckily, I will say this. Because I'm probably not going to end up seeing it. Let me look at it. I'm not going to say what, but it's based off an original film. The ending is not the same as the original film. Just saying, because the original film ends really effed up. It's a seriously effed up ending. But no, anyway, I digress. So that Beetlejuice, good solid movie, no competition. And it's going to, even though there is going to be more competition coming in the next couple of weeks, definitely, because we are going to roll into the Halloween season, it's probably going to give this an extra, no pun intended, a little bit of juice to keep going. So we'll see what happens here with Beetlejuice. But good for Beetlejuice. Absolutely. I enjoyed it. I'll hopefully take my dad to it. He's interested in it. Speak No Evil debuts with 11.5 million worldwide, 20 million, because it is based off a foreign film. So that's probably why it's got a bit more of an international appeal. It's got good reviews. It's made only on $15 million. So it's actually already got a great starting number. Unlike something, say, what was it? There was a movie that came out earlier this year Monkey Man. Unlike Monkey Man, which was made on like 12 million and just didn't get any legs. It made like a little under its budget, and just the drops were too great for the little it opened on. For a $15 million film with international added on there, this is not a bad number to start with, I think. Now, granted, I remember seeing this trailer quite a bit, so my guess is with that $15 million budget, you're looking at probably double in the marketing. So you're looking at about 45 altogether. That means you're looking at a film that has to hit about 70 to break even. So this film's definitely got a ways to go, but with good reviews, James McAvoy being James McAvoy. And again, Halloween season quickly approaching. It's coming. It's coming quick. We still got half of September left, but it's coming quick. It might get some extra juice to be put in the tank, extra gas. Deadpool & Wolverine, 5.2 million, dropping only 25.8, losing 300 plus screens this week. We are now in the point in Deadpool's run where it's going to start losing giant chunks of theaters, hundreds at a time, especially with new releases like Transformers 1 or like The Wild Robot coming out. So it's now in its waning days, but 5.2 million is not bad, and it gets to cross one final milestone, $1.3 billion, which let me actually see real quick if that ups the all-time number for it at all. I don't think it ups it quite yet, but it's like in the 20-something highest grossing films of all time. It is the 23rd highest grossing film of all time. Now, based on the numbers I'm seeing here, it's going to get number 21. It can do that. That's what, 6 million, under 6, just around 5. Oh, it can do 21. Definitely. That's only 5 million-ish away. I don't see it getting the 20th highest grossing spot, though. That is still another $29-30 million away, so that's not a likely number, I think. But the number 21 spot being only about 5 to 6 million away, that's doable. 100% that's doable. And people are still going back to see it. I've seen it 3 times. I don't know if I'll catch it a 4th time, maybe, but there's enough films coming out per week that I'm probably not going to be doing that. Still, look, we all assumed it was actually going to be the highest grossing film of the year. Then Inside Out 2 came and just completely curb stomped any expectation of that. By the way, still the 8th and will maintain the 8th highest spot of all time for a long time. $1.676 million. But still, it's got a very comfortable spot as the 2nd highest grossing film of the year, because otherwise the next highest grossing film of the year, I believe, is Despicable Me 4, which we'll talk about in a little bit. I guess that's the question. Do I see any film, I think I brought this up last week, but it bears repeating. Do I see any film, first off, beating Inside Out 2? No. Just no. Do I see any film beating Deadpool and Wolverine? That's trickier. I think, like I said, I think your best options for beating it are Moana, maybe Wicked. Mufasa's got an outside ballpark chance, but I honestly think that film's not underperform. It's still going to make butt tons of money. I'm not feeling the hype or buzz for this film like the original remake. But then again, what do I know? I'm not going to be seeing it. I don't care about it that much, to be honest. Unless I'm asked, I will do it. I didn't care for the other one at all. The original is the superior version in every concept of it. Joker 2 is also not going to do it. You already got mixed reviews coming. Now, originally the first Joker had mixed reviews too, but it's all going to come down to the quality of the film. It's still going to all come down to that. But again, the R rating hurts every film trying to make $1 billion. Only 2 films did it, and it was the original Joker and now Deadpool and Wolverine. I think that R-rated record is going to stay a lot longer than what the Jokers did. That's for certain, because it's hard enough for R-rated films to get into the higher digits, like past 500 million. Again, just because of the 4-quadrant issue. You're not a 4-quadrant film if you're an R-rated film. You're not. So you're limiting yourself to your audiences, or limiting the audiences that can come to you. Summing up what I was saying, though, I think it's either Moana 2 or Wicked probably have the best chance of beating Deadpool right now, and Wolverine. All right, then. Am I Racist made $4.7 million. Let me get on my soapbox real quick here. So, I'm like, what is this? Why do I remember it? And then I saw the poster. A comedy to love for what? I don't know what that says. So this is from the same asshole who went around doing the What is a Woman documentary. Now, if you don't know what that documentary is, I don't blame you. Because I didn't tell you about it until I saw this weird trailer. I'm like, oh, what's this? Like, what is a woman? I'm like, And at first, I'm kind of interested. I'm like, oh, we have like a kind of like a philosophical debate, like what's it mean to be a woman in society? What's the differences going on? But no, it's a right-wing guy talking about, basically questioning the concept of biologically, physically, and all that, what a woman is. Look, for any of my conservative watchers out there, and I'm sure I got some, we are allowed to have different viewpoints on everything. The idea, how did Christopher Tice put it? We don't have to agree, but we got to get along, or else this place we call America burns to the ground. Which is why, short and sweet on my political views, fuck Donald Trump, because he is literally trying to divide people, and he did a good job of it. He did a damn good job of it, and we are in trouble in this country because of him. It's amazing that it's as close of a race as it is, rather than as far as a race as it should be. Kamala should be decimating his ass right now, but as it stands, I think she's got like a 5 point, which is good. Any lead is good, but point being, we are allowed to have disagreements on many things, but when it comes to women's rights, the rights of human beings, man and women, but specifically their body, their choice, all that, basically just looking at transgender people and saying you're dealing with body dysphoria. That's why fuck Ben Shapiro. I literally, I'm trying not to go too soapboxy or anything like that, but I saw a clip of his that pissed me off. I'm like, motherfucker, what the fuck are you talking about? He said, I'm going to tangent, but he said something about, these trans people are people with, body dysphoria or something like that. And then explain to me, and he said something along the lines of, explain to me why trans people, why they're the majority of trans people commit suicide or murder as they go on. It's because they hate their bodies, hate themselves or their bodies when they come to terms with that. And I'm like, looking at this like, did you ever stop there? And what about the other people in that percentage? And if he's like, I'm sorry, what other people? Oh, the other people who get harassed by people like you telling them that they're not people for who they are, and therefore get so depressed that they either take their own lives or take it out on the people. Did you factor those into your equation? Just saying. And by the way, so trans people don't exist. So I guess we don't have pasteurized milk then, right? Oh, we do. Okay, well then that's, people are just crazy. There's no such thing as schizophrenia. There is schizophrenia. Oh, well, you want to know why we found out about those? It's because as our knowledge of the human psyche and body and science continues to grow, we learn new things about us as a species and humanity, which means maybe these people aren't sick. Maybe we're just in the next stage of understanding who we are as a species and can learn to actually accept that and grow as an entire culture. Do you ever think of that? No, it's because your religion says otherwise. And so anyway, that was my tangent on that. But point being, it's the same bullshit. I don't even see that. I'm not even going to watch the tricks. It's the same bullshit as before. Look, you're trying to make a point about your backwards ass viewpoints on people. Mind your own damn fucking business. Now, granted, apparently this one is a bit more. Let me read that. A man investigates diversity, equality, inclusion practices, exposing absurdities through an undercover social experience. Right. I don't know why in my feed, by the way, I've been getting these. Let me see if I can. Oh, I don't want to do that. Sorry. I was about to go to YouTube. And again, this guy has been interviewing alleged feminists and OnlyFans models, Gen Zers. And it's basically these guys calling out the woke, the woke agenda and these viewpoints these people have. And admittedly, when they come up and I do see a clip, I'm like, okay, I admit these people are stupid, but the arguments you're making are stupider. Which is not really a word, but still, are just so dumb. They made a comment about men being able to, if women disappeared tomorrow, men would be able to survive, no problem. Women would not, most women would die out. And because they're talking about how society doesn't need men or whatever. And I hear that, I'm like, okay, but why? Your explanation, your argument isn't giving an explanation to back it up. You're just saying these damn platitudes like, oh yeah, men would be fine, women would be screwed. But why? You're not saying, so it's bullshit on both sides of the aisle, those conversations. At least one of those clips I'm watching. And this is just another bullshit thing where he's going to basically say, he's almost certainly trying to, I'm not granted, I didn't see the trailer, maybe I'm wrong. If you've seen the trailer, let me know if I'm wrong. If you've seen the movie, let me know if I'm wrong. But he's probably trying to figure out if there is actually racism still in the world or something like that. So that's probably what it is. All right, soapbox done until we get to God's Not Dead and God We Trust. The Killer's Game, 2.6 million. Look, I had fun with the movie. It's not good, but it's fun. That was basically how I put it. Deserved at least more than a $2.6 million opening, though. It also kind of shows that while Dave Bautista, I think, can in fact now carry a movie on his own. I liked Stuber. I don't care what anyone says. I enjoyed Stuber. But yeah, it's not good. Like, there's no other way to put it. It's just not good in terms of an opening or the movie that much. I think he just needs better projects. Like I think I said in my review for it, his scene, an opening scene in Blade Runner 2049, a movie I don't even like that much, was great. Like it was legit good acting from him. Absolutely. Alien Romulus, another $2.4 million. I saw it this week with my dad. He liked it a lot. $330 million. It's still able to make a little bit of money, which is great. Absolutely. Again, just being an R-rated film is going to hurt it. And it's R-rated and it's horror. So it's R-rated and horror, not usually, working together for big box office achievements. Usually. It ends with Us, the film that keeps being just left in its, not dust, but just keeps barely being behind it. Another 2-some-odd million for $325 million. Both these films are reaching the ends of their run very quickly, but they both have got a lot of money, particularly It Ends With Us. And that made so much money. Speaking of film that actually made some money, The Forge, a film I had no interest in for obvious reasons. I've said why I don't like these films very much. But look, $24 million against a $6 million budget, and you barely had. I mean, I saw the trailer more than I saw for other trailers, but probably had like 10 million to maybe 15. I mean, if it had 10 million, you're talking about a film that made its money back. In fact, it made its money back. It's going to now make a little bit of money. If it's on, like, say, 15 million, I'm probably more leaning towards 10. But 15 million still needs to hit about 30, but it might do it. Who knows? And then, God's Not Dead and Gods We Trust. Someone asked me in my Q&A last month whether or not I thought this Reagan, or there was another one they asked about, but this Reagan and something else would be surprise hits. And my immediate answer was no, because these are still very niche audiences these films tailor to. And I looked for the numbers on it. The original God's Not Dead made the most money, and then it just went downhill. This thing barely didn't even open to 2 million. So no. And it's very much because they lean towards a very specific sect of the population. And even that sect of the population stopped going to these films. Look, God's Not Dead, the whole pure flick genre, I have so many issues with. And again, and someone asked me, why do I have a problem with films like, I think it was Anyone But You, or God's Not Dead, or something else among the religious spectrum. And I had to correct them, saying, I never said I had a problem with Anyone But You. I just never got out to see it, so I don't know where you're getting that. But anything that's pure flicks related, or anything that's faith-based related. I've been asked the faith-based question too. I have no problem, I need to be very clear, with faith-based stories. I like the Ten Commandments. I also liked Exodus, Gods and Kings. I liked that with Christian Bale. I actually liked that quite a bit. That scene with the wave coming in, I could feel that in my gut. That was like, holy crap, that was awesome. I also like films where the character faith is part of their character. Hacksaw Ridge. Faith is an integral part of that character that Andrew Garfield's playing. But that movie is fan-freaking-tastic. Absolutely. I've never watched Passion of the Christ. That one's not really my... Stories from the Bible I'm not really keen on, but I don't have an issue with. Just not my taste. My issue becomes when you get to the pure flicks, or when you get to The Forge, which I'm guessing is also pure. Or, oh God, War Room can kiss my ass. Oh, you think your wife's having infidelity? Go to Jesus. Don't talk to him. Don't try to just confront him. Just don't have a conversation with your significant other. No. Pray the sin away. Pray it away. Don't forget Jesus. Everyone's forgetting Jesus. Man, it's a fucking cop. Keep it in church, keep it in your home, keep it with your friends. Leave it at the police force. Seriously. And look, I'm reading this. Let's read this verbatim. Amid political and spiritual turmoil, Reverend David Hill steps up to run for Congress. Opponent Peter Kane aims to erase religion from policy, and fight becomes a beacon of hope for people seeking moral leadership in a divided world. I'm sorry. Wow, they're going to pay Peter Kane as like horribly atheist, because that's the thing. That's one of the biggest problems. They always portray either the atheist or someone of a different faith as a complete and utter jackass. That is always wrong. Always wrong. And don't get me wrong, I've known atheists. I've seen a lot of celebrity atheists. They can be assholes. They can. But that doesn't mean they all are. And that also doesn't make you immediately right just by making them the villain. And I'm sorry. I don't care if Peter King's the villain. He erased religion from policy. Yeah. Religion has no place in government. There's a reason you separate church from state. There's a reason the government isn't supposed to stick its nose in the church's business. And there's a reason that the church isn't supposed to stick its nose in the American household's business. Like, we have freedom of and from religion. So I'm sorry. You're trying to paint this guy as the hero? He's the villain. I'm sorry. I don't care how nice he is. Oh, I'm going off on a tangent, but I got my soapbox back here. So I'm like, look, I'm sorry if that pisses you off. But why does it? But I guess the question is, why does it piss you off? That's the problem with these deeply religious mindsets I hate. Is you're pissed off that people don't believe the same thing in you. You're pissed off that, you're killing babies. Like, I'm sorry, if science actually proved we were killing babies, science, not your personal faith, proved we were killing babies, do you really think we'd actually be doing it? You're angry, you're irrational, and you're a little insane. Now, I'm not trying to attack any of my viewers who may be religious. I'm not. Because if you're religious and you watch my channel, I do hope to God, that you actually have an understanding of the fact that, no, of course, that's not the case. Now, if you are anti-abortion, but someone's like, look, I don't personally believe in it, that I think it's murder. I understand we have different ideologies. It is what it is. I'm uncomfortable with it, but look, it's you. This is you. I get it. Fine. All right. Like, look, that's what not agreeing but getting along is about. But if you're someone who is literally just going to condemn people you don't know for things that don't agree with your personal faith and ideology, then I don't want to have a conversation with you, frankly, because you're not because I wouldn't want to try to convince you otherwise, because I know I can't convince you otherwise, because you're so ingrained in your faith that the minute I tried to offer a counter argument to that ideology, then you would just go just walk away and just not want to try to actually have a conversation of ideology. You want everyone else to think the way you do. You're uncomfortable with the fact other people don't. Okay, now we got through that. Yeah, God's not dead too. God's not dead. God we trust not going to do well. Moving on. Twister is 1.2 million. There were two politically based, religious / politically motivated films in the top 10. I couldn't not go on a bit of a tangent on both of them, honestly. Twisters is pretty much done its run. It might hit 370. And look, again, I hope to God what I read was right, that the budget's actually only like 155 and its total budget along with marketing is like 200. I hope that's the case, because otherwise this film did not make money. This film lost money. And it was a fun film. It did surprisingly well, all things considered. Despicable Me 4 made another 1.1 million, 940 million. It's still not going to hit $1 billion. It's not going to do it, but it doesn't need to at this point. It didn't need to after like week 2. It was fine. On $100 million, it was fine. But it is just kind of a little quiet film that could. Dan First Encounter. I don't know what you are. You're probably action adventure. Oh, it's a G Kids car. Okay, I don't know what this is. Let's see here. Trap, still around, made 400 grand or 800 grand. Hey, it's over 80 million. Still not enough, but over 80 million. The Front Room, A24's first real miss lately. It did not do well. Inside Out 2, we already talked about. It's pretty done. And honestly, that is pretty much everything that's still out in theaters right now. Yeah, not much else to talk about. Beetlejuice. Again, I wasn't surprised it made number 1. Speak No Evil. I don't think I was really surprised it made number 2. I was surprised that Killer's Game did that poorly. But that's just my thoughts. Coming out this week, we got. Let's go back to this. Coming out this week, we got Never Let Go and Transformers 1 as your big ones. And Wolves. I think Wolves might be getting a wide release because I want to see Wolves too. I think it might be, even though it says limited, don't trust box office. It's good. Mojo's good for a lot of things. Don't trust it when it's talking about limited to wide. Okay, so Transformers 1, I have full confidence it's going to be number 1. It's got great reviews right now. It is, it's animated, so again, 4-quadrant, known IP. So I'm confident it's going to be number 1. I don't see either Never Let Go or Wolves dethroning Beetlejuice in week 3. Beetlejuice will probably do mid 20 millions, probably dropping either a little below or a little above 15% this time. Sorry, I thought I heard my phone going off. So Beetlejuice 2 will definitely, or Beetlejuice will definitely be number 2. So after that we're going to have that, what comes next questions. Got this alleged Lumina, but that's probably like, when they say wide, like 100 screens kind of thing. I'll say Never Let Go is probably going to be number 3. Speak No Evil managed to make like almost 12 million this week, so I think that's safe to say it could do double digits. After that, Speak No Evil at number 4. I think that's a safe number to give it. And then maybe Wolves, because I just don't know how many people know Wolves are coming out. But we'll see what happens. Until then, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy. What did you think of the box office this week? And what do you think of my rant? See, like, but I can't. It's like, why do you got to go on I'm sure I'm going to get someone who complains. Like, if you don't like it, don't talk about it. I don't. The reason I talk about it is because they're issues that need to be talked about, and the people who need to hear them don't want to listen. So that's. But sometimes, you know what it is? Sometimes you just kind of got to let the frustration out. That's what it really comes down to. You got to let the frustration out. And that's what that really was, letting the frustration out. Because it just boggles my mind, these idiots who think this way and try to make us think this way. It's so horrible. Anyway, I digress. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. And like I said, I got Transformers 1, Beetlejuice, Never Let Go, Speak No Evil, and then Wolves. That's my prediction for next week. But what do you got? Let me know. Until then, see you later.